Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel, and yes, we're back on the Mustang to do another little job where this time we're going to hopefully give it a little bit more power and make it a little bit noisier. Yes, we're fitting an X-pipe. Stay tuned. So if you like videos like this, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and if you did like this particular video, then please give me the thumbs up. All helps with YouTube stats. Let's get talking about what we're going to do. So yeah, the time has come now. I've been waiting for this for ages because I bought this ages ago, and I've just been waiting for the best time to actually install it. Well, that time is now. So what we got? So what I've got here is X-pipe, and I bought this from Steeda. It's about £230, and that includes the actual X-pipe itself and two of the clamps that you're going to need to install it. Now this job is not as simple as some of the other stuff that I have done. One, I'm going to be doing it in my garage with the car on axle stands, and two, you need a couple of tools really that you probably need to buy to help you do this job. One of those is the impact driver. You might get away with it. My car's new, so the bolts will probably come off from the existing clamps that are on the exhaust, but the impact driver is really going to help to get those bolts off. One other thing you will actually need is a saw. So I've got this saw here. They're not that expensive. You probably know someone who actually has one, but you just need to borrow this, and because you do need to cut the existing pipe off. So really, I'd say this is kind of non-reversible, but you could put it back on with a couple of clamps if you want to put the existing silencer on. But yeah, if you get yourself one of these, get yourself an impact driver, and that should really help with this. And also a marker pen, because I'm going to need to put the X-pipe up underneath and just mark off where I need to cut it. So we're going to need that to help mark that. Now, as I say, this job isn't that straightforward. It's going to be quite tight under there, I think. This would be way simpler on a ramp, but I'm just going to let you see that hopefully that this is possible to do in your garage, on the floor, on some axle stands, or any other kind of lifting mechanism that you've got. But do not do this on a jack. You must secure the vehicle, because I'm going to be right underneath that vehicle there, so the axle stands for me is really going to be safe and secure. And also, don't forget, I fitted the Steeda jacking rails on mine, so that means that the axle stands will just go anywhere I want on the side of the vehicle, and it's going to be dead easy to jack this up and put those in. So hopefully this is supposed to give us some extra brake horsepower, which would be nice, and also it's supposed to give us a bit more of a tone to the exhaust. So let's go have a listen at the existing tone of the exhaust, and we'll use this recording to compare to the same recording we'll do after when we've fitted this. Have a listen. She does sound nice, doesn't she? But we always want that little bit more, and hopefully this X-pipe will give me that. So without further ado, let's get this jacked up, get it on the axle stands, and then we can get underneath and I'll show you what we're looking at. So now she's safely up in the air, let's go underneath, and I'm going to show you what we need to cut out, what we need to replace, and how the new X-pipe is going to fit. So we are underneath the car, and this is the centre silencer, obviously. Here we've got a couple of clamps, so they'll just need unbolting. They're dead easy to get off. Whereas here, this is a solid pipe going all the way to the back of the car, to the rear silencer boxes. So we're going to need to cut this at a point which we need to measure using the actual X-pipe. So let's get the X-pipe under here, let's line it up, and let's see where we're going to need to cut these pipes. Okay, so I brought the pipe underneath. Now this Steeda pipe does have a little bit of kink kicking out at this side, and I've worked out, if you look at the two pipes, if you look at the two existing pipes leaving the current silencer, one goes straight and one is just going off to one side. So the kink in the Steeda pipe needs to be on this pipe here. So let's hold the pipe up and let's see how it fits, because we need to line it up with the clamps at this end, and then we need to mark it at this end because this is where we're going to cut it. Okay, so after a little bit of research, what you actually do is you measure 5.5 inches from this flat part of what's known as the suitcase to here, and then you put your mark there. So let's do that. Okay, what I brought is a little piece of cardboard with a good straight edge. I'm going to wrap that around the pipe, and then I can draw around that so I know I get a nice round line, like so. And that's that mark. So what we'll do now is we'll just hold the actual X pipe up against it and just make sure it looks right at the other end. So if anything holding it up there, it looks like these may need more off, but it's always best. Let's take that off now. Okay, let's commit. Let's go get the cutter and let's cut these pipes off. Okay, so I've got my saw. What I decided to do is, as my pipes are black, they're pretty hard to see the blue mark that I've put on them. So I've put a bit of insulation tape, some white tape around it, so I can actually see where I'm cutting. So here we go then. So let's cut it off. Well, that was a lot easier than I thought it would be, to be honest. I thought it'd be quite awkward from this angle, but hey, that's one done. So let's do the other one. Okay, so that's that done. So let's go loosen the bolts at the other end, and then we can get the middle part out. Right, so I've got my impact drive ready. These nuts here are 15mm, where strangely the ones that are supplied on the clamps you get with the exhaust are 14mm. So hey, never mind, let's get these off. Now bear in mind that this will then be released, so what I'm going to do is put my head up against it so that I can just hold it in place for when these get released. Okay, so now we should be able to ease this pipe out, and there we go, she is off. So after removal, what I've done, I've just added a couple more stands here just to support the back end of the exhaust, just it's not putting any stress on the mounting points. So now what we need to do now is to install the X pipe. So I've pushed the clamps already on, push them all the way, so almost to the end of the pipe, so when I put the X pipe on I can pull these over and clamp them together. Alright, so let's try and get this into place. So let's feed that end in there. Okay, let's go. Okay, that's good. As far as that'll go in there. So these should now lift up, and yes, they're just about bang on. So let's move this further on. That won't go further on. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this off. I'm going to put this on this pipe because that'll slide all the way then. And the same here. Like so. So just make sure that when that's up there it's not going to be catching anything. Not sure about that there, but I can angle that down. Right. Okay, so maybe a little bit of adjustment here. Right, pretty sure that's good. So I'm going to tighten this up. Tighten this side up. Okay, before I fully tighten these, what I'm going to do, I'm going to just go to the back of the car, just make sure that the exhausts look as though they're sitting correctly. So here I am at the back of the car now, just checking, and as you can probably see, that is not square, so I just need to jangle that one about a bit, and a little bit of work on that one as well. So as you saw, I've just propped that up, prop the rear silencer up with a little bit of wood, so now I can tighten that one. Same with the other one now, prop that one up, so let's tighten that. And there we go, that's that one nice and straight, and that one nice and straight as well. So there we have it, job done. It's a little bit of a squeeze, a little bit tight under here, but yeah, it's doable, it's easily doable. Just need to crawl a little bit under your car, and you can get access to it anyway, so you don't need a ramp to do this, which is great. Alright, so let's do the final startup. We'll do a recap of the video of the exhaust before I put the pipe on, and then we'll hear the sound of it with the pipe on. Check this out. Now that is awesome, what a difference, that sounds absolutely fantastic. It's much more throaty than it used to be, so we'll get the car down off the axle stands and we'll get it out and we'll take it a little drive by so you can hear what it sounds like. Well, the big question is, have I now ruined the sound of this car? But what you got to remember is, I've got active exhaust on here, so yeah, I must admit it is a bit louder inside the car now, but I don't know if you can hear this. Wait a minute, so that's that. If I just now change my active exhaust to quiet and do the same, it's quiet. So no, I haven't ruined the car. It's yet to be seen whether I've added any brake horsepower though, but that'll be coming in another video, because now I've got the cold air intake and the X-pipe fitted. Both of those, in theory, should add 10-15 brake horsepower to the car. Yet to be tested, but I'm going to test that because I'm going to get it back on the rolling road, back at Dream Science. Last time we got 440 brake horsepower, so let's see if we can get to 450 or more with the addition of these two items. Kind of just prove whether they actually do give you any brake horsepower or they don't. So let me do a few drive-bys and you can hear the sound of it. So there we go. So let me know in the comments what you think of the exhaust. Do you think it sounds good? Do you think I've ruined it? Would you have done it to your car? Yeah, drop me a comment. Let me know what you think. I'm always interested to know what you guys think. But for now, that's it, guys. As I've just proven to you, you can fit an X-pipe, H-pipe on your car, in your garage. Yes, you're going to need maybe a couple. I mean, you've probably got away without the impact driver, but you'll certainly need the saw. I think it'd be a bit of a pain doing it with a hacksaw. It could be done, I guess, but I won't want to do it. So yeah, so you just need that saw. If you could buy one of them, I don't think they're expensive. I'm sure you must know someone who's got one you can borrow off them. But yeah, so don't be afraid of doing these jobs in your garage, guys. That's what I'm trying to encourage you guys to get out there and do this. You don't need to pay expensive costs to take it to a proper garage with a proper lift. It would be easier, don't get me wrong, if I had a proper lift. And I do have access because, you know, on my other project with the Beetle build, as you know, we work with MOT7. And yeah, I could get a lift there, but I didn't want to use a lift. I wanted to prove that this can be done in the garage. In a future video, I'm going to have a go at lowering springs as well, again on the axle stands. So that's I think that's going to be quite a push, but I think it can be done. So yeah, guys, many thanks once again for watching and supporting this channel. I got to that 750 by Christmas easily. I got there before Christmas, so that's fantastic. So next goal is 1,000, which I'm looking February, March time for that. So, you know, come on, if you haven't already subscribed, then please subscribe to the channel. And if you did like this video, give me the thumbs up. all helps with YouTube stats and make this a better channel so I can do bigger and better and more interesting things for you guys. So until the next time, stay safe.